Hello everybody. Let's discuss today the halakha that you have to feed your animals before you feed yourself. In Shema Yisrael, that tremendous declaration of Jewish faith that we say 3 times a day, we say, V'natati eisiv besadecha, Hashem says that He's given us grass in our fields, lebehemtecha, for your animals, ve'achalta, ve'savata, uvarachta, and then you should eat and be satisfied and bless Hashem for all He's given you. Why does the pasuk tell us, why do we say here that first I have given the food for your animals and then afterwards and you will eat? Says the Gemara in Masechet Brachot, from here we learn that we must feed our animals before we're feeding ourselves. There's a special obligation so that the animals shouldn't have any distress, so that we should show how much we care for animals, which really we do. The Jewish religion is a religion that cares very much for animals, that we cared for animals before anyone ever even knew that animals had feelings. Thousands of years ago, no one cared about animals' feelings, and yet we find in our Torah from thousands of years ago that we're told that such a small thing that we shouldn't eat until we fed our animals is important. So from here, says Rabbi Yehuda in the name of Rav, we have an issur for you to eat before you have fed your animals. The Rambam paskins like this, so do all the other poskim. It's a problem of causing suffering to your animals, and that is the halakha. What about tasting food before your animals? Are you allowed to just have a taste? You just want to have a taste of something before you go and feed your animals. Is that okay? Says the Taz that there's no issur involved in that. You're allowed to taste before you feed your animals. The problem is not to eat a meal. The Chidah, however, doesn't seem to agree with the Taz at all. He asks on the Taz, and he brings as a proof for himself the Rif and the Rosh, that the issur is to taste before you fed your animals, and not just to eat. And so, according to them, according to the Chidah, according to the Rif and the Rosh, you can't even taste anything. Just have a little taste of something before you go and feed your animals. Rav Ovadia Yosef paskins like that you're not allowed to taste anything, and so there's another proof for this from the Gemara in Masechet Gittin, that the problem is even to taste something before you fed your animals. What about having a drink before you fed your animals? Have a cup of coffee. Are you allowed to drink before you feed your animals? Here it's different. We find a pasuk in Sefer Bereshit, when Eliezer, the slave of Avraham Avinu, went to find a wife, went to find Rivka. He said, or she said to him, drink, v'gam alecha ishkei. She gave Eliezer the person to drink, and she said, and I'll also give your animals to drink. Here we say our poskim that we see that in drinking it's different. You can drink before you give your animals to drink, and so the halacha is that you would be able to drink before your animals, but you wouldn't be able to eat, even to taste something, before your animals have tasted anything. There's a famous story that's said in the name of the Arizal, that there was a couple, a woman who hadn't had children for many years, and they came to the Arizal to ask why. The Arizal told them that they have chickens in their courtyard, and there's a small pipe where water's dripping, that's where they get their water from. The small little chicks can't jump up to get water from this pipe, and so they're thirsty. And that's the reason, he said, why you don't have children, because of the suffering of these chicks. Tremendous mussar involved here. You see how important it is not to cause any suffering to animals. The basis of this whole halakha of feeding your animal before yourself is to show that, is to emphasize that to a person, that Hashem created your animals and He wants you to look after them, so much so that you must feed them before you feed yourself. Thank you.